Hi friends, in this video we will be discussing the Indus Valley Civilization part 1, and this topic is frequently asked in prelims and it is also covered in the culture section of mains paper 2. So a probable question which might be asked this year or maybe mains next year will be that why Indus Valley Civilization is called a lost civilization. So we'll be discussing that question, and on our way we will be also discussing some details regarding the prelims section also. Okay, to begin with, while the civilizations of Egypt, Mesopotamia and China left enduring monuments and historical records and were remembered in later times, the Indus civilization was forgotten. So this is a key question which we will be discussing today. When the Europeans antiquarians began to investigate Asia's past in the late 18th and 19th centuries, only the later traces of India's ancient history commanded their attention. The cities of the Mauryan Empire, where some centuries earlier the Buddha had lived, and the megalithic monuments of the south with their striking similarity to prehistoric European tombs. The discovery of Indus civilization in the 1920s, when excavations began at Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, therefore took Europe by storm. The city's well laid out streets and fine houses with bathrooms surprised and impressed archaeologists and the public alike, while the discovery of seals bearing an enigmatic script intrigued them. The contemporaneity of the Indus cities with Mesopotamia's civilization was quickly established. Excavations by Sir Maritime Wheeler in the 1940s brought further publicity. So this is the name to be remembered, Maritime Wheeler. He was associated with the excavation of Indus Valley civilization. Okay, 1940s. The spirit of inquiry that characterized 18th century polymaths from London to Calcutta led them in many directions, including science, natural history, philosophy, languages, and the human condition. The members of the Asiatic Society, along with other inquiring minds among the European officials and soldiers in India, took a magpie interest in Indian antiquities, reporting accidental discoveries of ancient remains during agricultural or building works, and occasionally doing a little digging themselves, describing monuments such as rock cut temples and the South Indian megaliths, noting local people's beliefs about them, and attempting to identify historical sites such as Chandragupta's capital at Patliputra. The inhabitants of South India were found to be speakers of non-Indo-European languages dubbed Dravidian by Robert Caldwell. This is another name which has to be remembered. Or rather coined the term Dravidian. Okay. So Maritime Wheeler, 1940s. His name was associated with the excavations which started, and then Robert Caldwell, who coined the term Dravidian. Fine. Okay, I'll be rubbing this off. Hope you have noted it. Then by the 1813s, the copying and study of inscriptions and study of coins were also well in train, due in great parts to the endeavors of James Prinsep, master of the Calcutta Mint. James Prinsep. He was the master of Calcutta Mint. Okay. By the 1840s, both Brahmi and Kharosti, the scripts of later first millennia India, had been deciphered, opening up considerable resources of historical data. In 1848, a number of individuals were given a mandate to explore different parts of India and to record and report on the monuments there. These designees included Alexander Cunningham, who in 1861 was made archaeological surveyor and in 1871 was appointed Director General of the newly established Archaeological Survey of India, a post he held up till 1885. Okay, so he was a very important figure, Alexander Cunningham. Okay. In 1861, he was made the archaeological surveyor, and in 1871, he was appointed Director General (DG) of Archaeological Survey of India. Okay, from 1871 to 1885. So very important for prelim section. Alexander Cunningham, first Director General of Archaeological Survey of India. He held the post from 1871 up till 1885. And James Prinsep, who was the essay master of the Calcutta Mint. Okay. Now, when in 1899 Lord Curzon was appointed Viceroy of India, he took critical stock of the resultant patchy and generally unsatisfactory level of archaeological activity, recommending the revival of the post of DG or Director General to oversee and coordinate the work. And in 1902, Sir John Marshall took up the post. 1902, Sir John Marshall. Who was the Viceroy? Curzon. Okay. Marshall was familiar with the material, including the curious seal the Cunningham had recovered at Harappa, and he instituted work there in 1920s under the direction of D.R. Sahani. Okay. Then Mohenjo-daro was known as the site of poorly preserved Buddhist stupa situated on the mount's summit. But during explorations here, R.D. Banerjee had picked up the flint scraper, suggesting the mount had far greater antiquity. He therefore began excavations here in 1922. Mohenjo-daro also yielded seals inscribed with unknown characters, comparable to those from Harappa. And like Harappa, the site was found to have a great depth of deposits belonging to a huge ancient brick-built city. The difficult working conditions took their toll on the health of several of the excavators, who over the following years included K.N. Dikshit, M.S. Watts, D.R. Sahani, and Ernest Mackay, the latter a veteran of northeastern excavation. These investigations brought to light large residential areas with well-built houses, straight streets, fine drains, the brick-built pool known as the Great Bath on the higher mound at Mohenjo-daro. So this is to be noted. Great Bath. Where was it found? Mohenjo-daro. Okay. Not found at Harappa, but at Mohenjo-daro. Then a large building labeled as the Granary was found at Harappa. An unjustified appellation that has struck. Finds included bead jewelry, copper tools, some of the best known seals, the sculpted torso known as the Priest King, and the bronze figurine known as the Dancing Girl. This was the introduction how Indus Valley Civilization came into limelight, who were the people behind it, and in the next video we'll be discussing about the chief characteristics of this civilization, and then we'll be also discussing about the extent of this civilization, from where to where this civilization was spread. Briefly, we'll be also discussing about the Saraswati River. It might not be very important for prelims, this Saraswati River, but it might help you out in the essay section, where you can plug in some lines from there. Then we'll be also focusing on the new research and writings on this topic. Then we'll be doing the anatomy of various sites like Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Dholavira, Lothal, Rakhigadi, Ganeriwala, and then some smaller settlements at Sutka Gendor and Daimabad, Gola Dhoro, and these are some of the sites. Then we will also be focusing on the recent researches in Mehergarh and Amri, Kalibangan, and the recent researches about the Indus Valley script. So we'll be covering some of the details in later videos. We'll not be covering the whole section. For whole section, you may refer to the study material which is available, and the study material has covered everything in extensive detail, and it will be self-sufficient for your preparation, and you will not be requiring any other book other than the study material. To purchase the study material, you can refer to our website www.upsctutorials.com, or call us or mail us regarding your queries, and hope to see you next time. Bye bye.